They have stopped rising for the moment, and they have been consolidating in recent months, but that's mainly because of the strong gains we've seen in recent years. So last year, average prices were up 180%, 190% compared with the year before. Already this year, they're up around 260% above where they averaged last year. And what the reason for sort of the pullback in prices and the consolidation is really because of the lockdowns we've seen in China, which has forced some of the factories to close, stop production, but also because of the part shortages we're seeing, especially for semiconductors in Europe and the US as well. So that's led to sort of a constraint on the production side, and as a result of that, there isn't so much upward pressure on prices. But overall, the demand is still very strong, and we can see that by the waiting list for EVs. So waiting lists stretch between, depending on different models, between 3 months and 2 years, with most of the waiting lists between the sort of the 6 months and 12 months sort of period. So I think that suggests there's a lot of pent-up demand there. I think once we start to see the China coming out of lockdowns, once we start to see the semiconductor or the parts shortages ease, we're going to see prices pick up again, because while prices have been pulled back, we've seen some destocking. So once we see demand pick up, we'll also see restocking, and that will put pressure on prices. So yes, we do expect prices we don't think we've seen the peak yet. We think we'll see the peak probably towards the end of this year or early next year. Well, yeah, we expect the market to remain tight. Admittedly, there is extra supply on the way. We've seen that already. We've seen some expansions coming through. We've seen some restarts of idle capacity. And towards the end of this year and next year, we're expecting to see new production come on stream as well. And all that will help to alleviate the tightness. But we still think the market will be tight, and that extra supply we think will be well absorbed by the market. There is strong demand out there. We expect restocking as well, as we've already seen there's been some destocking. Also, as the whole supply chain, the downstream supply chain is growing so fast, that means that there is a need to build up working stock as well. And given the price rises we've seen over the last few years, we think there'll be some strategic buying as well. So I think those people who are seeing an oversupply situation, they might be looking at the supply demand numbers and taking them at face value. But from our experience, supply rarely comes on smoothly. You often have ramp up issues. It's often difficult to get the right grades to start with. And also the whole process, when you get new supply coming on stream, all that new material needs to be qualified, and that can take anything between 6 and 18 months to qualify. So all that means that the new supply, yes, it is on the way, but it will take its time to actually sort of reach the capacity levels people have got down on paper. So yeah, we think the market will remain tight. Yeah, the market certainly needs high prices to incentivize new investment, but there's a lot more to it than that. You also need local government and central government support for these projects. They need to issue permits, whether they're environmental permits or permits for water. And also you need the support of local people. And as we've seen over the past few years, and generally, local support, there can be quite a lot of local opposition to projects, so you do need to sort of get the local population on side as well, and that can take time as well. But you also need good ESG credentials as well, and that can also take time to work through and to work out. But above all, you need time, because to bring on a new greenfield project can take anything between sort of 5 and 15 years to get a project up and running. So yeah, you do need the money, but there are also a host of other things that you need as well, and that's why the problem is getting enough supply on stream in a timely manner.